The world of VR has been buzzing. Big players in VR have been making headlines, and not always for the reasons that you'd expect. From industry giants scaling back ambitious plans to surprising new patents that could reshape the future. What's going on behind the scenes? Here's everything you've missed in today's segment of VR News Buzz. Recently, Meta has made the decision to reduce its financial support to third-party VR game developers while increasing investments in lifestyle applications for categories like fashion, beauty, and music. This change is a very strategic shift for the Horizon Store because they're focusing on attracting a broader audience that goes beyond gaming. But holy this sounds awful. Horizon Store might soon look less like a gamer's paradise and more like a digital mall. Honestly, it doesn't even look like a gamer's paradise either with all the Horizon Worlds promotions. So this pivot hasn't gone smoothly for developers. Studios like Monks in the Netherlands and Atlas V in France have taken heavy hits, cutting their teams in half. These aren't small names either. They've worked on projects like Wallace and Gromit in the Grand Gateway and Mobile Suit Gundam. Even Ready at Dawn, the studio behind Lone Echo, shut its doors earlier this year. It feels like Meta is saying goodbye to the games and gamers who carried VR early on, and this is really sad. Although the gaming lineup in 2024 has been exceptional, it's really sad to see third-party developers being left out, especially as the Horizon Store is changing too, with this overwhelming Horizon Worlds promos. It allows fewer and fewer opportunities for third-party games to get discovered. At least you still have a place like SideQuest where you can discover all of these VR games without any Horizon Worlds promotions. Meta lowered the age limit to Horizon World, and the result? A virtual playground filled with preteens. And the reports of inappropriate content and harassment have poured in and raised concerns about safety and moderation. The platform needs even stronger parental controls and tighter moderation, and honestly, they're right. VR is this magical escape for many of us, but it's not ready to be a daycare, and users don't want that either. Of course, the potential for kids to socialize and get creative in VR is huge, and I don't want to discover kids to explore VR, but it's tough balancing fun and safety, especially when we talk about kids. Personally, I prefer to hang out in worlds that don't have that many kids, so not really a Gorilla Tag kind of girl, but Banter is a pretty cool one, a VR social sandbox created by SideQuest with lots of tricks up its sleeves to avoid kid-filled worlds. It has tons of cool events and very adult-focused nature. I've known a lot of people who actually migrated to Banter from former Altspace and even Horizon Worlds. So if you're into social VR but you're scared by kids in VR, then I would recommend you try Banter. Kiwi Design, the unsung hero of VR comfort, is here to save the day and your neck. They've rolled out a batch of accessories for the Meta Quest 3 and 3S just in time for their Black Friday sale. There's head straps, facial gaskets, controller covers, and more for Quest, and they are now officially made for Quest partners. And I even spotted their accessories in the official Quest pop-up shops on the Meta campus in California. They've recently released a new line of battery head straps for Quest 3 and Quest 3S, such as H4 Boost, which is essentially a Halo-type strap, K4 Boost, which is the Elite type of a head strap. I managed to test them recently and they both feel great, and their latest addition, the V4 ventilation facial interface made for Quest 3S with a really soft synthetic leather and ventilation vents that prevent your lenses from fogging. So the news about that is that from November 23rd to December 3rd, these babies are up to 40% off. No codes, no hassle, just pure discounted joy. I'll drop the link to Kiwi Shop in the description. All the discounts will be applied directly to the prices, so you don't need to apply any codes or anything. So if you've ever cursed your VR setup, now is your chance to upgrade. Modern problems, modern solutions. And I thank Kiwi for sponsoring this news segment. And now let's move on. YouTube has introduced a new co-watch feature for MetaQuest users, allowing up to 7 friends to watch videos together in virtual reality. This feature, now in beta, offers a fresh way to socialize in VR, which is a lot less intimidating than specialized VR social apps. For one, you can only watch it with your friends. Here's how it works. You'll update your YouTube app, click on co-watch icon, and invite friends from your followers list. Just make sure that they follow you back. While the feature limits viewing to 2D content only, each participant still must pay for any paid content like movies. This sucks, of course, but for watching free VR content, this is definitely a step forward, and it adds a more natural way to hanging out in VR with your friends. I think this is a really nice feature. Give it a try and let me know how it works for you. Moving on from Meta, But speaking of slashing funds, Apple has cut production on its Apple Vision Pro headsets, once hyped as the future of spatial computing. After disappointing sales and customer complaints, who would have thought that not everyone wants to drop $3,500 on a VR headset? First, Apple's manufacturing goals shrank from 2,000 units a day to 1,000, and despite a strong January pre-sale, the device struggled after its February launch, selling just 370,000 units in 3 quarters. By January 2025, Apple expects to sell only 50,000 more, which is hardly a mass-market success that they likely hoped for. Next, users shared really blunt feedback, which you all probably know about. The Vision Pro is not as comfortable as they wanted, and I definitely tend to agree with them. I just never managed to get over the slight discomfort, and I could live with it for gaming, but Apple Vision Pro is not a gaming device. As a device for productivity, it has to be better, especially for its price. CEO Tim Cook admitted that this headset is for early adopters, which feels like a code for "we overestimated how many people love cutting-edge gadgets this much." There are predictions of a follow-up model next year, but most likely it will not be much cheaper. Budget-conscious shoppers won't see a cheaper Vision Pro until at least 2027. Maybe by then Apple will have a sleeker, lighter version, but that actually appeals to more people. For now, this seems like a case of biting off more than the market could chew. And this leads us to another Apple-related news from last month, when we've learned that Apple might shift its focus from its pricey Vision Pro to more affordable wearables like smart glasses or earbuds. After all, people love Apple for sleek and minimalist devices, not something that makes them look like they're auditioning for a sci-fi movie. Next, the company's proven track record with user-friendly products makes a pivot to smart glasses feel like a much more logical next step. Apple has the chops to design something stylish and intuitive that could win back their consumers. If Apple makes this move, it might actually bring this AR revolution closer to reality. Instead of doubling down on the early adopters only vibe, they could finally create a device that would be attractive for more users. Although I really don't see how it could be cheaper than that, especially knowing how expensive Orion was. In the light of Meta's reveal of Orion, the first ever true AR glasses, which were cost $10,000 to manufacture, I really don't know how they'll be able to make these glasses any cheaper. Still, it's fun to see the competition heating up. We've finally heard something from Samsung. Samsung is stepping up its AR/VR game with a new patent for an XR headset and a pair of smart glasses. It looks like the company is gearing up to challenge heavy hitters like Meta and Apple in the race for immersive tech dominance. First, the patent describes the smart glasses as a wearable device for displaying visual objects. Next, these glasses appear alongside a larger XR headset, hinting that Samsung wants to cover all bases, from lightweight wearable tech to more traditional VR experiences. While Samsung has stayed relatively quiet about its AR or VR plans, this patent suggests that they're ready to make some noise. If the design stays true to Samsung's history of sleek devices, this could be a big win for users who want versatility without sacrificing style. Although I don't know if they're still on top of their game when it comes to developing VR products. And hopefully the company will avoid the common pitfall of turning innovative ideas into clunky products. So please take your time, Samsung. Lastly, I got to try a brand new upcoming PC VR headset called Megain 8X Ultra Light, which features 4K displays per eye with pancake lenses, and it pretty much blew my mind. And if you're curious to learn more about it, then watch my video and see for yourself what it offers. It's pretty amazing. I'll see you there.